Okay. Am I up? I think I'm up. Cheering on Twitch, you can do it. Alrighty, Norian, how are you doing? Hi, Ain, how are you doing? Yes, let me know if you're having issues. For some reason, on my end, it was showing that the broadcast was going by fine. I have a good connection, and my preview was only showing chat. But I went to my computer, and there was no signal, so I just restarted it, and I'm fine. It says Twitch disconnected me, but I have a preview of it, so I can keep my eye on the stream and the way that things look. It's kind of weird looking at myself as I look at myself, but hey, whatever works. I will try to keep my best eye on it. Anyway, how is everyone doing today? I'm hoping that we're going to have a bit of fun with a trio of recipes here. Pardon me, I'm just making some tea. I'm hoping we're going to have fun with a trio of recipes here, each with very different backgrounds. One recipe is going to be making fortune cookies, which is an American invention served in Chinese restaurants. Go figure. One of them is going to use the leftover yolks to make egg noodles. And then I'm also going to be making some tostones, which use these beautiful lovelies, some green plantains, which I started cooking with about a few weeks ago. I've never actually worked with plantains ever before in my life, but they're really inexpensive and they're a good kind of potato-y thing that we got going on. Looking at Shmanja making food while ending dinner is a good way to end the day. Well, thank you for that. Let me just turn off my audio here. There we are, because I'm hearing myself on my other computer. Anyway, so that's the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to put together the batter for the tuile. Second thing we're going to do is make the egg noodles, because the dough's got to sit for a bit. Then I'm going to be making the plantains, going back to the egg noodles and so forth. But my fortune cookies are going to be the highlight of the day, because I've made some unfortunate fortunes that we're going to be putting inside. So, this does mean, however, that I want to make sure that I have a very loud noise. I'm good. I'm good. Where do I want to start? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the batter for the fortune cookies, because that's got to sit anyway, and that's the only way I'm going to be getting the eggs. So let's go to our 2-cam setup, and I hope it doesn't blow up. Yay! Although it makes things amazingly bright, so I'm sorry if the chat is looking amazingly bright and hard to see. And let me also make sure that my camera position is good. All right. So, what is everybody up to today? It's a nice, healthy Wednesday. Let's get some tea brewing here. Set timer for 3 minutes, actually 4 minutes because I like it strong. And let's go. So, first thing we're going to do is get the melted sugar, get the melted butter, then the sugar, and then 2 or 3 egg whites. So, melted butter. Here we go. There's my knife. 76 grams. That's 7. That's 15. That's 19. 41. 51. 62. 74, 77. All right. I think that'll work. I think it's good enough. Someday in the future, I can see professional cam in your kitchen because you are annoyed at the cam you have now. Actually, I'm not sure if you'd seen, but the camera that I'm using here is actually a new camera compared to the first one. If you remember, the first one used to blink all the time. This one is a bit higher quality, so I can keep the quality of the camera a bit better, but also it requires less power to run. So now I can have the camera plugged into my USB 2 adapter and charge my computer at the same time, which means larger streams. Longer streams. Well, larger too, technically. Because now I can post at 720p. Woohoo! And yes, you can see my feet as they jump up and down for joy. Alright. So I'm just melting the butter. I'm going to be making the tostones in this pan as well. So I'm really not worried about any residual fat because I'm just going to be adding oil to it. But while that's happening, I'm just going to get all the other ingredients going. Which means that I need 76 grams of azúcar. Yay! So just measuring things out right now, and you can keep my butter in view. $76 grams, come on. 3, 4, 6, 7, whoa. Anyway, so what else has been going on? So anything else that's been going on this past week, just to keep you all up to date, is I think, Norian, I think you know, but I am an insane Eurovision fan. And earlier this week, they did the semi-final allotment drawings. So people figured out where certain countries are going to be competing in the contest. And just to get everybody up to speed that might not know what Eurovision is, it is in short terms, in American terms, it is an international song competition where countries within the European Broadcasting Union send an artist to sing a 3-minute song that the other countries vote upon. And the country that has the biggest number of votes wins the contest and hosts it the following year. Last year it was won by Netta from Israel, and this year, without any controversies whatsoever, period, Israel is hosting the Eurovision Song Contest. So anyway, I just heard which countries are participating and not. IT is done. I've heard that Bulgaria is not participating this year because of funding. Bosnia-Herzegovina is not participating because of funding. So, all in all, a very interesting thing. Not to forget the number of countries that, according to a Wikipedia article at least, allegedly wanted to boycott the event because of things that are going on with the Israel-Palestinian conflict, in addition with not feeling that safety is going to be paramount with the contest at all. So, I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting, controversial broadcast, but you know, every year is without controversy, or with controversy. You're talking about countries in Europe, many of whom haven't gotten along for centuries, trying to sing a pop song. So there's always something. But anyway, that's what I got going on right now. I really can't wait till the contest happens this year, though once again, I'm probably not going to be able to watch it live. The American broadcasts of the contests, quite frankly, stink. Eurovision is a thing you either love or hate, or love to hate. But that's it. I find that people who love Eurovision love it because of the campiness. Some people, like myself, like the diversity of the broadcast itself. I just like that it's the Olympics plus music, and you get to hear a lot of different things. What surprises me, however, is that you never really see artists that you've heard of in these contests. Like, why doesn't Great Britain just send Adele? You know, a guaranteed win right there. Watching it is often a cringe fest, but it's oh so fun. It's like watching a car wreck with glitter. But yeah, like I don't know if there's any particular rule, but can you imagine if the United Kingdom, well, that's hot, sent Adele? It would be an instant win. No question. No question. I mean, Italy sent Il Volo, which is an artist that some Americans have heard of. And right now, by the way, I'm just mixing the butter and the sugar together. Um, Technically, I should be putting the egg whites in first with the sugar to dissolve them, and then I'll add the butter, but I really don't care because these are not going to be fancy schmancy. Let's get the tea in there. ABBA once participated, but ABBA participated before they were famous, I think. I believe, and just like Celine Dion was famous in the Francophone world. She was a famous singer of French music, or should I say Quebecois music, before the world knew her in '88 for winning Eurovision. But the same thing with ABBA. They were known within Sweden, but it wasn't until Waterloo in '74 that things exploded. Olivia Newton-John also participated in 1974, but I don't know if that was before or after she did Grease. So I think with these, you wonder, you take Adele, and I'm going back to this example, she's an international music star, and put her in Eurovision, and perhaps, maybe Great Britain will not finish in second place for the 80 billionth time. Hi, Monostache, how you doing? Stefan and Schmogen is schooling everyone in Eurovision. Yes, I know. We are together. I didn't update the menu command. Let me do that right now. Just updating the menu command. Menu. Fortune. Unfortunate cookies. Tostones. And egg noodles with. There we go. So there's the menu. Monostache, how you doing? By the way, Monostache, those tie clips and hair clips that you posted on your Instagram are insanely cute. I wish that I had long hair or wore ties, and if I did, I would ask if you could make me a pumpkin one, because I like pumpkins. But anyway. Tea is up. Unfortunate cookies, yes. I'm gonna get to it when I can, but I made a recipe of fortune cookies using the French tuiles, but I also made some unfortunate fortunes, which are too small to read on camera. So spoiler alert, hopefully they're gonna be funny for you when I read them a little bit later. So yeah, they're fortune cookies with unfortunate fortunes. Enough rambling. I got sugar. I got butter. I have eggs. I have enough eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Although one of these eggs. Well, looks like I'm using that egg already. One of the eggs already cracked and I didn't notice. Alrighty, so now I need a vessel to keep the yolks in until I'm ready to use it. And the cracked egg might be for the pasta. Yeah, because the egg already broke on that one. So the cracked egg is going to be for the pasta. Let's get our hands dirty here. Always separate egg yolks by hand. So whenever I made these tuiles when I did and I'm not sure if anybody remembered the stream where I did the dessert tacos, but these are tuiles that were the shells for the taco. So I'm just repeating the recipe to make the fortune cookie, but I'm gonna add some extracts too. I don't care if bits of the egg yolk get in here, but if you were making meringues, because I know I mentioned that in a stream once, but if you're making meringues, the tiniest bit of egg yolk, the itty bittiest molecule of yellow in your egg whites from the yolk will render your meringues flat. They will not rise. They hate fat of all kind. I realized I've been neglecting actually posting on Instagram, so I dug through my photos to post the clips. Yes, but they were adorable. Feel free to, if you'd like, post a link to your Instagram in chat, and I would suggest those who are viewing to check them out. So feel free. All right. I'm stalling quite a bit because I have energy. Alrighty, so now this doesn't look like much because it's literally just egg whites, melted butter, and sugar. And if there was any egg yolk that got into this, it really doesn't matter because there's butter in here anyway. But there's going to be a point where this is starting to look homogeneous. Wonderful Mouse, hello! How are you doing? Good to see you on this wonderful Wednesday. I think this is good enough. All right, so what flavor should I make? I'm going to put the egg yolks aside here. What flavor should I make these fortune cookies? The choices are anise and almond. What flavor should I make these? I may not be able to use that. Okay. Let's see. Almond. Peppermint. Anise. I always store my extracts in a Ziploc bag because I'm terrified that they'll spill everywhere. All right, so I got anise or anise. I also have chapped fingertips because it's so cold and dry here. I have anise, almond, and how's this for weird? I also have root beer extract, which, by the way, great meringues. Tastes like a root beer float. Anise, if you had a bit of orange to go with it, but almond is delicious. I do actually have orange. So I could do anise and orange. I could do almond. I could do root beer. Whatever it is, I can only do one flavor, though. School was off because it was so cold. Ugh. Yeah, I was seeing pictures on Instagram that weather forecasters across the United States didn't have a color to represent how cold it was going to be when they showed the nation on a map of weather forecast. There just wasn't a color blue or white or purple or pink enough because it's so rare that we get that cold. All right, so again, we have anise and we have anise and we have orange. And we have almond, and we have root beer. Help me decide what flavor to make these fortune cookies. These unfortunate cookies. Oop, I needed my scale. See, I'm getting distracted. You can see that. Yes, I know. I can't tear if I turn on the scale. The stuff's already on it. So let's tear it now. And the amount of flour that I need is 44 grams, not much. $16, $25, $38, $39, $40. It's $46, $41, $42, $43, $44, and a little bit of insurance. All right. Vote for almond. Orange and anise sounds good too, but almond. Vanilla lemon for fortune cookies. Okay, so it looks like that most of us want almond, and that's where I'm going to go. So just to recap, this is 3 egg whites, about 75 or 76 grams of sugar, 44 grams of flour, and I do operate on a metric kitchen because I find it way easier on metric to multiply or divide ingredients. Plus, if you work on baking recipes by weight rather than volume, if you invest in a scale, you don't have to worry about measuring cups ever again. So it's looking a little lumpy right now, and that's fine, because once the gluten develops, that'll just rip out all this other. All right, so here we go. Put that away for now. I forgot how strong these are, so I'm going to go for a teaspoon or so of almond extract. And the reason why I'm making this so early is that this has to chill so that when I finally use them, yeah, I put in way too much almond, I can smell it already. When I finally use this dough, the gluten in the flour would have calmed down quite a bit. But I'm mixing, I'm stirring, I'm trying to get out all the lumps. But it really doesn't matter because these are going to sit. This is probably the last thing I'm going to do. But anyway, there we go. I know it's really bright. Let's see if I can darken that a little bit. There you are. The batter is somewhat ribbony. It looks sticky. It looks sugary. It looks goopy. It looks like almost pancake batter. But there's so much sugar in this, you probably wouldn't want it as a pancake. Metric is more precise. I love using it. My food scale all the time when baking. Speaking of being cold, I realized I need to go put on another layer. My workshop is feeling a little too frosty for me today. But Monostache, you're in Florida right now, eh? If that's the case, really curious what the temperature is coming up as. Because for us around here, it's about 27 degrees Fahrenheit, which I believe is like -3 or 4 degrees centigrade if I do the math quickly in my head. All right. So let's also get all right, I'm getting the oven on. It has to be 350 degrees for those. So I also have the tostones and I have the pasta. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the pasta. I'm going to see if I can get this over to the bowl. And again, you have to pardon my dirty sink. I have an itty bitty kitchen. Tig Girl TK, Tig Girl Tiny Kitchen, who sometimes comes and chat a lot. She has a tiny kitchen. Well, this is all my counter space that I have really right now. It's a high of 50 today down here, and her house is pretty shaded, so it stays pretty cool during the day. I've got a high of 6 degrees. Feels like -13 at the moment. Ugh. No. 6 isn't a temperature in degrees. That's a number of beers you can have in one sitting. That's not a comfortable temperature. Oh. Now, by the way, I hope I don't disgust anybody when I say this, but I'm the kind of person that reuses tea leaves 2 times. I pour my first cup of tea after having it steep for about 3 minutes, and then I put hot water back on the leaves, and I just leave it steeping until I get my second cup. It's nowhere near as strong, but it's just like flavored hot water. Hopefully that doesn't disgust anyone. And I like to keep the house open for fresh air because Sunny likes watching what we call the dog channel, where she'll watch all the screen doors. Feels like a 6-pack day. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. By the way, shout out to Sunny, Twitch's favorite pooch. Hi, Sunny. Arf, arf, woof, woof, doggy treat. Who knows? I might even give Sunny a doggy treat tonight. I don't know. All right. Enough stalling, Mikey. Let's get in there. Into there. Oh, by the way, yes, my real name is Mikey, but you can call me Schmajin, Schmajan, whatever. Oh no, you can get 2 brews out of tea leaves. It's totally common. That's the way we do it all at my house. Yeah, but the first brew. I love over-steeping tea, though, where I take my Earl Grey and I usually steep it in hot water for about 5 or 6 minutes. You only need to do 2 or 3. Sunny is such a good girl. What is it? I saw a meme on Facebook that read, "Not all dogs are good boys. Some of them are good girls." Strong tea is awesome. I've actually been thinking about making an ice cream with tea. So if you take when you're making ice cream base from scratch, you simmer the milk and or cream in a pot, and that's where you put your flavor in. So if you want to make a matcha iced tea or matcha ice cream or vanilla bean, that's when you put all the flavors in so it can steep in the milk. But if I wanted to make a tea-flavored ice cream, I just put a crap ton of Earl Grey in there. Tea ice cream, that sounds so good. Yeah. There's a ice creamery? What's the technical term for ice cream shop purveyor? Ice creamery? Anyway. They have an Earl Grey ice cream that's nice. It's sweet and silky. The tea is actually very mellow in that. But an Earl Grey ice cream with a little bit of black food coloring, that would be good. Matcha ice cream. Oh yeah. Just make an ice cream base, but add the matcha to the cream before you add it to the eggs. That's going to be where you get the most spread amount of flavor. Plus, the cream and the milk will dissolve the matcha a lot better. And the churning is going to fluff it up anyway. But anyway, I'm stalling. All right. So otherwise, what I have here is the pasta, what I'm going to be doing next. Where's my recipe book? There it is. I need 2 cups flour, 1 whole egg, 3 egg yolks, and 3 to 5 tablespoons of cold water plus salt. Now, I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to get my egg yolks. So 3 egg yolks and 1 whole egg. Or you know what? Hang on. I think this will work better. So, some time ago, I had these little miniature trial versions of vodka that I put in the freezer. And when I'm making pasta, I like to use vodka because it's flavorless. And over time, the alcohol comes out. So when you're baking with vodka or cooking with vodka rather than water, it's not to inflict alcohol or to get people drunk. Not at all. Please drink responsibly. Text on bottom of the screen. But cooking with vodka allows the moisture to get in there to help things combine, but ultimately evaporates, the alcohol part at least, evaporates away so you can get it drier faster if you need to. But anyway, I'm going to use a little bit of vodka, which is already ice cold, with the egg whites because I have to incorporate the water at some point into the dough, but it just gives me a little bit of extra insurance. It's not going to, in any stretch of the means, make these alcoholic. I can't stress that enough. So I need 2 cups of flour, which I'm going to put directly into here. 2 cups, 365, that's 130. It's about 130 grams. No, 260 grams. Hey Google, how much does 2 cups of flour weigh in grams?
On the website kingarthurflour.com, they say, a cup of all-purpose flour weighs 4 1/4 ounces or 120 grams. Do you want a little more context?
No. Hey, I was
No
close.
problem.
I said 260 grams. It's 240 grams. I was close. Not bad. Love those tiny bottles. It's good for trying new flavors and things. Yes, and it's always good to have them on the side as well. You could just get a whole grab bag of them and put them in your food. I cook with a lot of alcohol in case you didn't really know. Chuck it all in. Hi, how are ya? Lebel, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. So I'm going to be whisking let me get the cup of flour in there. I am running low on space, but you can see the things that we have to do for love. Alrighty. There. So about 240 grams. By the way, for anybody that might be baking or so in chat, allegedly there was a recall on this brand of flour. So allegedly, if you have gold medal flour where the expiration date is 2020 or something along that line, if I read that right, there may be a recall on it. So please check and then double check with this brand, gold medal, to see if your bag is applicable for the recall. If that were the case, mine is not. If that were the case, you may be able to get a voucher for a replacement bag. So safety first. There may be a salmonella outbreak yet again when it comes to flour. But you never, ever, ever should use raw flour anyway. So why would it be a concern if you're cooking your flour and you're killing the bacteria? I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, safety first, everyone. I don't have enough flour. Ugh. So I'm going over to my replacement bag. And again, I need about 240, 250 grams. $85, $86. Come on, 240, I'll go 245, why not? There we are, 245. And let me grab my kneading attachment because I'm feeling lazy and I don't feel like getting my hands that dirty, says the guy that manually separated eggs by hand. You'll get warm. Most people don't properly clean their hands or their tabletops. Bacteria lingers for a while. Touche, I do hear that. Alrighty. So into the egg yolks, because I use the whites in the tuile batter that's currently in the fridge, I'm just lightly whisking a little bit of the vodka. And that Kaletza is not letting go of the whisk. That is not appetizing looking. Alrighty. Alright, and we're right now kneading the egg yolks. And the flour. Throw out these shells. Yeah, you didn't need to see that. Ah. If anyone has the flour, contact General Mills to learn about a possible compensation. Yes, thank you. Gold medal unbleached flour with a better use by date of April 20th of 2020. Thank you. Yes. Wash under your fingernails as well. Agreed. All right. Definitely needs more water. And salt. Yes, and LaBelle, you could do exclamation point menu to get a sense of what we're putting together in the stream. The first thing that we had put together was what's called tuile batter. So this is going to be the fortune cookie shells. It's sugar, egg white, melted butter, and almond extract, which I put in here, and flour. It's resting in the fridge because I don't want any of that gluten developing. Plus, it helps to re-chill the butter. Also, needs a little bit more water. Also, we're making egg noodles, which I'm kneading this way. And finally, we're going to be making tostones, which is the main reason that I wanted to do this stream, because I've never worked with green plantains before, and I figure I'd like to show off or document what's going on with it. Alrighty. So now I'm just kneading the dough, and I'm going to let it do its thing until when I feel it, the gluten is well developed and it feels stretchy. But I'm going to keep on adding in a little bit more of the vodka if it looks like it's going to get a little too dry. Mom made bread pudding yesterday. I love bread pudding. Tostones. Oh, yes. So you say your mom made bread pudding yesterday. Are you a fan of sauces on bread pudding? There's a bourbon sauce that I've seen people make, a bourbon with cream and egg and all that gets poured onto the bread pudding. So otherwise today, beyond making these delicious goodienesses, I might do something with chicken because I have. What do they do with this? And again, every time I open or close this freezer, it clips the mic. I have 3 frozen chicken thighs that I can cook something with. It only takes about, 25 minutes to get these from frozen to fully cooked. So I might do something with so I can kind of use all the ingredients together. Let me think, do I need the flour anymore? No, I don't. I don't need the sugar. So the sugar can go away. The flour can go away. The extracts can go away because I'm done with them. Let's put them away, get things a little bit cleaned up around her. You should try morir sognando. Caramelized sugar, like the way it is. Let me see where this. Alright, it's a little on the sticky side, so I'm going to put a little bit more flour in there. We don't want it sticky at all. We want it to feel like a leather jacket. So just a little bit of flour will be fine. That's orange juice mixed with evaporated milk or regular milk, some sugar and some vanilla. It's very important to put ice in it. All right, speaking of very important, let's make sure that all of the dough is going to be kneaded correctly. Because right now it's feeling like a good consistency. It just needs a little bit more kneading to make sure that all of that raw dough and flour gets mixed in there. Certainly don't need any more water. The volume okay for everything? Alright, so this is certainly pliable. It needs like a little bit more flour, like not even a scooch of more flour. It's like the tiniest amount. Volume is good. it is. I mean, it's interesting you bring up the Dominican drink. In recent weeks, and again, I can't explain why or what the motivation is, but in recent weeks, I should really make sure you're seeing the mixer and not my dirty sink. That'll probably be a good idea. There you go. In recent weeks, I've been more interested in Latin cuisine. I don't really have an explanation as to why. I've made plantanos maduros. I've done, well, now I'm going to be doing tostones. Wait, what was the dish? I mashed the plantains and stuffed it with chorizo. Why am I blanking on that? Mofongo. I've made mofongo, but not on stream. Yuca in at least 3 different ways. I've done baked yuca like fries. I've done yuca by itself with a lime, jalapeno, onion, olive oil sauce that went on top of it. And then also just done regular mashed yuca that I put on top or underneath some lentils and some salsa verde that I made from scratch, or should I say tomatillo salsa. So I've done those, and I've been a bit more curious about that kind of cuisine, if only because those materials seem very readily available. I'm still trying to get my hands on nopales, which are cactus leaves, which are very interestingly hard to come by fresh. I can see them canned, but I don't want them canned. I want them fresh, so I can see what they're working with. Mango, mofongo. Mango is when you take the yuca and you smash it, stir in some usually some sort of lard or pork fat, and served with sausage, egg, and cheese, isn't it? Isn't that what mango is? I may be losing my mind here or my memory, but that's something else, like a good breakfast. You need to try Niño and Vuelto. This one takes time. I trust you. But I will tell you, I'm very nervous about the plantains, because the green plantains, I've not made them before. Mango is mashed plantain, not yuca. Thank you for correcting me. But I think we're on the same page in terms of the way that it's prepared. Am I right? I think it's prepared in a certain way. A lot of my coworkers tell me that they get it at their local bodega or deli as usually a breakfast before coming to work. But it looks really dense and really good. There is mango made with yuca, but normally it's plantains. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Right now I'm just kneading the dough in my hands, not over my tea, which is what it looks like. And when I'm squeezing it, it's beginning to look a lot like a leather jacket. It's probably a little moist, but I'm going to let it dry out just a little bit before I cut it and put it through the roller. What just happened? Cheeto, thank you for the follow. What is up? I am doing well. We are making 3 things today. And what I'm going to do next, now that I am beating the life out of this dough and it's the consistency that I want, I'm going to be setting this dough aside. I'm going to cut it up and roll it out later, because we have a lot going on. But how are you doing today? What's going on, Cheeto? Welcome to the channel. If you've not been here before, or if you have been here before, apologies that I've completely blanked. All right, so now we are 2 for 3. Maybe I should also mention that this is essentially my lunch. I haven't eaten any lunch today. Okay. There's the vodka. I don't need these spoons yet. Wash my hands. Tomato mixed with chicken broth sauce. No, Nino Envuato is rice and beef wrapped in cabbage. It is really good. Mom boils the cabbage and leaves when they are ready. She stuffs and boils them in tomato sauce. Ooh. Tomato mixed with chicken broth sauce. That does sound good. And yes, I am getting hungry. All right, so now we're 2 for 2. I have the dough doing its thing. Let me partake in a little sanitization here. Ah! Ugh. There we go. All right, so now that I cleared it up a little bit, I'm going to perform a little bit of a magic trick. Wash the sanitizer off my hands. I'm going to go grab a pressure cooker so that I can take the frozen chicken thighs that I have, see if I can cook and defrost them, because that'll be something that I can eat with the Tostones, and it's also something that I can mix in and enjoy with the egg noodles that I'm making. So I'm going to be right back. Just give me about a half a minute so I can set up the pressure cooker here, and yeah, that'll be everything. One moment, BRB. 1 second. Oh. Had the rack, didn't I? All right. Only thing that will make this better is if I had beer rather than water. Water was the only thing that was ever in that, so I feel safe putting that back in there. I got 3 chicken thighs here. One. Three. Still raw chicken. The only problem with this method is that even though it cooks the chicken, it imparts no color onto it. So they're going to come out looking white and scary. So I'm going to counter that. You know what I've never used in quite some time? I'm Not used this in quite some time. Slap Ya Mama Cajun seasoning from Ville Palette. This is salt, red pepper, black pepper, and garlic. And because this has the salt and the black pepper, this is going to be my primary seasoning. I'm going to use quite a bit of it because I'm going to be losing to it washing off from the steam. So that just goes right on. And of course, when it comes out, I will give it another try. Things are falling everywhere. My goodness. Also, my secret weapon, liquid smoke, that I'm going to be adding into that water as well. Probably more than I need. And now, let's set pressure to 15 minutes high. More pressure. Doesn't leave me a lot of room to prepare things, but I will make do. Pressure cookers are wicked awesome. This is making me want to break out the pressure cooker for dinner, make a chicken sauce thing, and put it in rice or noodles. My dad makes his own beer too, so I could do a beer cooked chicken. There we go. All right, so the only thing that we have left right now, I'm going to get some water on, and this will take a long time to boil. Ooh, I got melted butter in the bottom there. That's not good. I'm probably not going to have enough fat to do all this. Speaking of beer, have you ever made rice and subbed in some of the water for beer while making it? Super delicious. I have not done that, but you know, you don't sound wrong. All right. So, does not look like I'm going to have enough oil in the pan, but that's all I have, and that's all I'm going to be using. And I'm going to have a bowl of paper towels set on the side so that when they're done, I have a way to drain them. And the last thing I need is a rack. And no, I do not mean the country in the Middle East. Although, we kind of also need a rack. I'll find a place to put this for now. Oh my word. Little space, little space. Alrighty, so we got the pressure cooker on. We got the oil in there, which I'm going to put on low to get it heated up. And what am I missing? I'm missing a little bit of brine, haven't I? Let's do a little bit of multitasking here. I'm in very limited space. Speaking of beer, have you ever made it? No, I just need to make sure to use something without a lot of hop flavor. Cheap wheat beers are the way to go. Do you have any particular preference, Mono, for that? I'm going to use a big knife. Hopefully, this can be seen. Yeah, you can see the limited space that I have here. I have enough room for half a cutting board. I have the pressure cooker set up. These are just the, whatchamacallit, the rollers for the pasta. I have my plantains, there's my sink. I have the mixer set up, which I put away when I'm not using. So yeah, I even am resting my dough on top of my unplugged toaster because I have nowhere else to put it. So this is what it's like in a tiny kitchen. But you know what? As Tim Gunn always says, you make it work. So anyway, let me just cut off these ends here. Oh yeah, I can start smelling that liquid smoke. Now these are green plantains that are slightly turning yellow, which means they're becoming ripe when they're, well, they're ripe when they're black. So never hold a sharp knife in your hand because your flesh is nice and cuttable. And I'm just cutting a slit onto every side. There we are. Which is probably not a smart idea because now it's kind of hard to remove. See, these look all sort of woody. This is what it looks like. It looks like a banana. For all those that may have not worked with or seen plantains in the raw before. It looks like a banana with the skin being super woody. I guess... oh, I don't know. I made a brine of water and salt, but I figure I'm going to be using them right now, so I don't have to worry about brining them. So I'm making the executive decision to ignore that part of the recipe. That might affect their outcome, so I apologize for any plantain or Tostones fans that are out there. I think our favorite that we've had the simpler times, the super cheap beer from Trader Joe's, putting some edamame beans in with the rice while it cooks, and then topped with egg, furikake, and tonkatsu sauce. A+ launch material. You know what? I'm actually a little on the salty side that I can't find Asian ingredients where I'm at. Where I had used to live, which at this moment I don't mind saying on stream, I used to live in the city of Yonkers, New York. There was a plethora of resources from which to buy Asian ingredients. There was an H-Mart that was near where I lived. There was also a I can't use that. There's also a Sen where I lived. Normalized. Hi, how are you doing? But where I live right now, a little further up the Hudson River Valley, there isn't that kind of market around me. I would actually have to drive down to where I used to live or take a 20-minute detour on the way home from work to do that. And you know what I'm really craving? What I'm really craving is samyang, because I think I had my last samyang curry, and they have the packages there, like 5 packages of samyang for $6, which is less than what you could buy it for online before shipping. That and natto. I can't find natto anywhere but in an H Mart. So I'll just have to make do, I guess. Anyway, when that oil is hot enough, which I hope is going to be soon, yeah, that's probably not going to work. So can I do that? Yep, that'll work. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall off and deep fry. But I put in about half a cup maybe of canola oil into the pan, which is probably not going to be enough. I do know that you can buy furikake and samyang online. If you ever need tonkatsu sauce, you can make it at home pretty simple. Easy recipe for the day. Another grams Discord for Tigra. Okay. Hi, fried, LOL, egg friend. Don't fry the camera. I'll try not to. I spent a good $40 on this one. It's so nice having a camera that doesn't decide one day to not work. Although speaking about making things at home, I've seen recipes online for making natto at home, where you get the dried soybeans, and if you just had the tiniest amount of natto from the frozen package, just the tiniest amount to start, that'll be enough of an inoculant to get the entire batch fermented. And then you have a ton of natto fresh from home, which I can't wait to do. Anyway, so let's cut these into about 1 inch. And I'm cutting off any stalk that still is there. And I don't know if I'm going to use a knife again. Oh! And I can see the oil starting to shimmer, so hopefully that's hot enough. No, it's not. Waiting for the oil to heat up so I can pan-sear some of these. I know you can do it at home. T-Girl knows a lot about it because she has a friend in Portland who makes natto. If nobody's had it, natto is a very delicious, nutty, almost cheesy smelling soybean that's been fermented. The look of it is not appetizing. It's slimy. It looks like beans that you left out for a long time without the mold. Some people say it's pungent and vinegary. It smells rotten. But so do all the best cheeses in the world, to be honest with you. So if you've never had natto, close your eyes, take a bite with a little bit of rice, maybe with mustard and or horseradish. It is immensely delicious. It's very divisive, but I think people see before they eat, and those who don't like it might not like it because it's slimy. But seriously, on top of some fresh vinegared rice, it is to die for. I'm okay with natto. The texture is hard for me to get over. What part of the texture is it? Is it the sliminess? Because I felt that once I just got over that, it tasted really good. There we go. This oil is probably not hot enough, but it's super close, so I'll make it work. It's the sliminess, yeah. That's what I thought. A lot of people who don't like it, don't ever want to touch it. Don't like it because of the sliminess that's going on. All right. So, chicken's got 15 minutes. These have to do their thing. Now, for tostones, the idea is that you're cooking the plantains twice. The first time to get them less raw, and I know I'm not using a lot of oil here, so this is going to take a little time, but then you have to smash them. I don't have a smasher that you would use traditionally for this recipe, so I'm going to be using 2 plates, and I'm just going to smash them one by one on top like that to get the final shape that you need. But while that's going on, and while the chicken is cooking, and I could do the tuile, but the tuile needs the most attention, so I have to do that last. Because once it comes out of the oven, you have to shape them right away. There is no wait time. I guess I should read to you now the unfortunate cookies fortunes. But at the very bottom is the recipe itself, which I mentioned on stream. 76 grams of melted butter, 76 grams of sugar, 2 or 3 egg whites, depending on their size, really. 44 grams of flour and 1 teaspoon almond extract. You pretty much mix everything together, chill it, and then you spread it out in a circle, bake it, and then as soon as they're out of the oven, while they're still nuclear, that's when you have to shape them. You don't have any time to waste. You take them out, they're done, you do what you gotta do. But the fortunes that are gonna go into the cookies are a little weird. Yeah, these are starting to get yellow, so again, I'm just moving them around. All right, ready? So we know that inside fortune cookies, which I think were even invented in America, they're not a Chinese invention. You break them open, you get all these nice fortunes. And I'm not sure if anybody else did this in high school or grade school, but you would add the word "in bed" to the end of your fortune, and it would still be hilarious, if not, you know, slightly sexual. But anyway. The fortunes read as follows. You break mirrors because they can't reflect all your awesomeness. You're awful nice to talk to. You're totally disgusting. You're enemies with amazingness. You stink at being horrible. You make others want to drink the elixir of life so they can experience you more. You are a nightmare to the concept of bad taste. You are incredibly ugly at absolutely no time ever. No one can stand you being as cute as you are. You should be arrested for stealing people's hearts. You are totally boring away into people's hearts. Oh. And finally, you are so adorable. Anyway, those are the fortunes that are going in there. So I got to cut those up at some point. But right now, I'm just getting these fried. And these are not seasoned until after the second smash. Some recipes that I heard online suggest that you brine these in cold water and salt for a bit before you cook with them. Which I did not do because lazy. And I did not do it because of good planning. But I'm keeping my eye on these. Yes, I had to think of more. So I only have about 10 or 11 of those fortunes, because I think that's going to be more than my yield of these fortune cookies today. So if anybody has any ideas, I'd be very appreciative. And I'm just turning these around because what you could see, actually this one shows it very well. There is a very yellow side and a white side, and I'm trying to get them all to be that very yellow color. So I'm just spinning these around. Until they appear all even on all sides. Let's get them all done on that one side first. So this can go horribly wrong, you do realize. I could undercook these. Gotta check my pattern. I haven't picked up this piece in a few days and I've forgotten where I am. Yeah, I hate that when that happens. Sometimes when you're working on a good knitting pattern and you have to put it down for some sort of reason, such as, employment, and you want to come back to it, but there's no real way to make a bookmark, especially if there are a lot of repeats in the pattern. I don't know. Some people are very old school with how they manage their patterns, maybe with pencil or pen. I can't do that because I have to read the colors and so forth a particular way. So I always use a PDF and make a giant arrow to know where I left off. All my patterns I keep digital. Very rarely do I print them. All right. All right. That one is, that is the fettuccine. I know I'm going to be using the fettuccine roller. And the regular pasta roller is stuck. All right. There's the regular pasta roller. And we are going to start it at the widest berth that I can. So we're going to set it to 1. And now let's turn these bad boys over. Yeah. I realize right now it's about 2:30. I haven't eaten lunch yet. So this might even be like a lunch dinner situation. A dinner, if you will. I was even procrastinating about going to the gym today, but I figure yesterday I did my long run. I got out of work about an hour early yesterday, which just doesn't happen. I went to the gym and ran for about 8 miles. So today was supposed to be a speed day, but I just wasn't feeling it. Gotta check my pattern. I haven't picked up this piece in 2 days to forgot where I am. Backy. Oh. Yeah, they're getting there. They're softening up. Chicken's got 5 minutes left, which is a little awkward. But when the chicken comes out, that's going to go on another plate. I'm going to roll out the pasta now. And I'm going to just rest them on a cookie sheet that I have waiting. And I think I'm going to do it in quarters. I still haven't eaten lunch, but didn't wake up until 11 a.m., so I ate breakfast not too long ago. Been procrastinating from the gym for a few months, but I'm going this weekend. It works out well because I always eat dinner so late on stream days anyway. Yeah, you know, I've always wondered about that. You and, I'll use a stream name, you and Tabatai usually eat very late, and it makes me wonder, like, what is your day-to-day schedule like? If I eat something after 10 o'clock, I don't fall asleep. But that's I don't know. That's just it's interesting to me that people's eating schedules can be so varied. But yeah, it's a long day. Also, by the way, if anybody from here is not familiar with it, Monostash, who has her own great crafting stream, is married to Tabatai Cooking, who is a cooking streamer that usually focuses on Japanese home food. So please give them a gander when you have the opportunity to. These are getting well cooked. Oops. The ends. 1, 2. That's looking there. 3. That one's definitely there. 4. Could have done better at planning these. Alright, you stay there on that end. Okay, that's fine. 5. I try not to eat super late if I can help it, since the food will just sit in your stomach and not digest while you sleep, but it does get hard to resist at a 2 a.m. point. Yeah, especially when y'all make such good looking stuff. Alright. So the chicken is cooked, though it needs another 10 minutes at room temp. Let me turn the oil off for now. And let's take a look at pasta rolling. Just folding it in thirds and running it through a few times. Okay, setting 1. Now goes to setting 3. And then finally setting 5. This is going to be so much pasta, y'all. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I mean, technically I could make pappardelle at this point. Let's use half as much. BRB, okay. So right now, I'm just squeezing this. I've not made pasta in a very long time. So this is going to be very hilarious how this works out. I'm going to have pasta for ages now. All right, setting 3 with 2 passes. Oh. This is looking beautiful. And then finally, setting 5. Sorry, I spit it up there for a minute. I have a rack over here. Should have been using that. La 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 la. I'm trying to make pasta. Dough, it got sticky. Now I don't have any semolina, but you know what? I'm okay with string fells. Pasta for ages are some serious life goals. I do not discount that. I do not discredit that. I just don't want these to get too dry. So, what does everyone make for dinner tonight? Lunch, dinner, whatever it may be. Probably rushed that one. All right, let's get that sliced. And so off screen I have a rack that I'm just putting these on, because right now I realized I'm trying to put pasta out to relax. What? I'm boiling water right now. It's not really that smart of an idea. Okay. Whoops. And you know, I still got fortune cookies to make. So that's going to be set for later. I'm going to return my attention to the Tostones. And wrap up my dough. OMG, this pasta looks so good, dough. All right. That is set. I'm keeping the flour aside for when or if it's needed. Now, we're going to see if we can get to smashy smashy. You've been looking at my dirty sink this entire time. All right. So traditionally, there's like a metal or wooden utensil that you put the plantain in. If the cake has layers and lasagna has layers, does that mean lasagna is a type of meat cake? Yes. Yes, it does. I've never made my own pasta before. I need to try it sometimes. I bet it's amazing. In which case, making your own pasta can be very easy. What's tricky about it is that you have to get the moisture level right, because if you make it too dry, it falls apart and it won't roll. If you make it too wet, it's going to be sticky and very impossible to clean off after. So when you're kneading your pasta dough, you want to make sure that it feels like a leather jacket, like it has that feeling. That's when you know you've kneaded it enough and there's the right amount of moisture in there. You might have to add more flour if it's too wet, or just knead it for more if it's too dry. Yeah. My friend Alex redeemed jackfruit for the menu. He's actually coming to help cook on the stream tonight. Graham's planning on making a vegetarian ramen with it. Ooh, I look forward to that, because I live quasi-vegetarian. You can take a metal cup, put aluminum foil in the cup and the table. You can use the cup to flatten the plantain. Yes, but I'm taking 2 plates and smashing them together. Which did a serviceable job. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll work. One, two. Three. This one's going to be a big one. 4. I think some of these could ultimately have been flatter, to be honest with you. And let me see if I have enough salt. Ooh! I can use Malden. I got sea salt flakes. I can use that to season them. That'll probably be a lot better. Larger surface area, perhaps? And this is the first one. That's probably the most dangerous way to flip it. It's also strange to see that you can cut it that way. Normally it's cut at an angle. You mean the plantanos? Because I agree with you. Yes. Nice golden brown. This is the first one here that I mashed, and it kind of fell apart. And then I think this one here is just the last one. It's the thinnest I got. It's probably going to be the best of the lot so far, but I have quite a few more to make. And I might even add some more oil between batches. In which case, I have the oil. I'm just going to set the timer for an arbitrary time, so that way I can see how long these are cooking per side. Oh, almost burned my finger there. This one is done because that one is the thickest. Okay, let's put a little bit more oil in there. And let that come up. Smashy, smashy. They'll most likely head out soon to Michael's to get some more yarn before the snowfall starts. Ooh. Where are you that you are still affected by the snowfall? New York City never got snow. We got ice. Oh yes. So yesterday I was just getting out of the store. So I'm a little farther up. I mean, if you're in New York City, I'm a little farther up the Hudson River. We didn't get snow yesterday. We got a little bit of rain, but it was so light where I'm at that it essentially manifested on the pavement as slush. So I'm walking from the supermarket exit to my car, and also from my car to my front door, and I was slipping like you wouldn't believe. I only have 3 more left, so should be fine. We got a snow warning though. I'm actually in Queens, and all I'll say, we get ice and wind. You're in Queens? Hey, it's my favorite borough. Let's go Mets. Okay. That Tostones was good, but I very definitely did not season it in time. Okay, definitely got some Bernie going on here. No Bernie. Those are just all the bits of planting that are still cooking. All right, but I only have 3 left, so let's make this count. I'll be lurking, gonna head out, hopefully get the arm that want. Okay. LMK, what you be knitting? But anyway, so we got these going on. And this will be the last of them. I'm starting to build up a sweat, y'all. I got the last 3 in the pan already. And it's smoking. Frying food is no joke. Always get ridiculously warm. Yeah. So, way back when I was in school, I had the school was broken up into 6 levels, but 3 sections. And in the level 5 was our first part of restaurant work. And I was stationed for the first part of that rotation in Saucier. The way that the kitchen was laid out at the time, I was in the corner of the kitchen away from the crossbreeze. And in that corner to my left was the flat top. Then I had the grill, the convection oven, and the deep fryer in addition to the stoves. My then partner and my sister and her husband visited me that night. One thing led to another, and I went out to say hello to them. The meat thermometer that was in my jacket pocket, these are probably not fully done, but I'll give them a few more moments. The meat thermometer in my jacket pocket was registering 110 degrees. It's like super smoky in here, y'all. Just sitting there. It was never inserted into any food. In my pocket, of course. It was never subject to any of that. And yet it was registering that hot. All right, I'm going to go open the window before the fire alarm goes off. Let me get this pan off the heat, as I almost burned myself. Whew. As I smoke out my entire apartment. Yeah, but the payoff is so worth it. All right, so there's that. Chicken is done. Literally at the same time. Yeah, it's cooked. Cooked to perfection. So there's the chicken. Doesn't look like much now. But I have some barbecue sauce in that we put in with it, sort of. All right. And now we're going to roll out the pasta because, yay. I'm still trying to organize on this tiny kitchen. What am I going to do? All right, that's going to work. The most pitiful looking noodles ever. There we go. That's more like it. These are going to be a lot better. And then finally these. Oh, yes. So this is not going totally in accordingly to plan. But you know what? It's going. It's totally going. Embrace your failures, people. Oh, what am I doing? I'm making a first-class mess. That's what I'm doing. All right, so there's my fork. Homebrew pasta does not need much time at all to cook. Let's give it a few more moments. Let's get the pressure cooker out of here. And I got some cilantro I had left over. That'll work well here. Oh my word. Like I said, this is something, I'm just doing this off the cuff. I still got the fortune cookies to make, but you may see me eat lunch and dinner. And right back, just had a tiny accident with one of the Tostones. Okay. Alrighty. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I'm just going to let it do its thing. It's called improvising at its finest. Let's get some EVOO in there. Let's get some fresh garlic in there. All right. So, yeah, I really don't know what I was thinking when I started doing this, but I'm just making it up as I'm going along. I just made the pasta, we made the tostones. I also thought about just putting the chicken in there. I have to air out the apartment because I just smoked it out. But anyway, sometimes this is all about invention or finding something that's going to work. I'm just thinking, you know, I have these wonderful ingredients that I have not done anything with. So now I'm just chopping up some fresh garlic, which is going to go right into the chicken. Now it smells nice and garlicky, and there's butter in there. Improv cooking usually works out. It does. About a little bit more olive oil. Now, I already tasted the chicken. It is wonderfully seasoned. So what I'm trying to do now is just add a little bit of color. In goes the pasta. Now I'm chopping up, this has some leftover cilantro, so I'm going to add that here too. looking a little dry, which I don't like. Another teaspoon or so of olive oil. There we go. Let's get some things cleaned up around here. Let's get ready for a plating. That is done. And it is missing a little bit of color. But I do have a remedy for that. Okay. I just have to remember to have the rest of the tomato tonight. And there's what I just improvised. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like much, but hey, it's lunch and dinner. So hopefully that works well. It's just pasta that I made, the egg noodles. There's some chicken that I got into the slow cooker. I just put some tomatoes on top just to give some sort of coloring. But that is going to be it for that. We still have a bit of baking to do. What did I do with my... Oh. I'm like, what did I do with my phone? I had my phone in my hand. All right, so let's get this on there. I still got some chicken left, but I do have some plans for that. I think that'll be enough. All right. See the mess that I make. But anyway. You'll be making a chicken calzone for tonight? You linked the recipe in the Discord? Well, great. I look forward to seeing it. Also, post the final product. Yeah. The chicken here is fried, crispy. It did get a little bit of browning from leaving it in the pan with the garlic and olive oil. There's that little bit of cilantro in there. But this is totally working out for me. I use that smack your mama sauce, or should I say that seasoning, which had some cayenne in it, and the black pepper. You really taste it. Yes, sir. Hopefully, it looks as good as the photos. You know what? It only has to taste good. You know, sometimes the best looking, best tasting foods aren't always the best looking ones. Which I also say the same thing about people sometimes. Wait, not the best tasting people. I don't eat people. Okay. Pardon my manners. I'm eating in front of everybody. But that was perfect. All right. So let's get some chicken fried up again. We're getting a plate. We get 2 tostones. Alrighty. But this time, I'm going to treat these a little differently because, don't laugh, I had some tiny barbecue sauce that's left over. So I'm going to add some barbecue sauce to the chicken, about a tablespoon. Heat that up together. A little bit of barbecue chicken tostones. We're just probably violating a lot of rules right away with Latin American cooking that I'm adding an American barbecue sauce, which came from a major distributor. Excuse me. Let's get some butter in there. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for that. Oh wait. Oh, I can totally do that. I got myself some pickled jalapenos. And that was the timer I set for no apparent reason. And I made some salsa last night off stream. So put the chicken on the tostones. Oh my god, you guys, I have so many dishes tonight. Some pickled jalapeno. And then lastly,
where did I put it? Oh, there it is.
some fresh pineapple salsa. Need more pineapple, so it's going to be pineapple salsa. And these away. How's about a duo of tostones? The two jobs that never end, dishes and laundry, yes. So I have a tostones sandwich here and just a tostones topped with some pineapple salsa, which I need to take a quick picture of before I consume. And then we make our fortune cookies. All right. I feel like I've been rambling about everything and nothing all at once, and hopefully I'm not ignoring anybody. But itadakimasu. The tostones are crisp. And now I'm going to try for the tostones chicken burger. I can't talk, I'm too hungry. Oh yeah. Ten out of 10 would do again. And it's going down. All right. So what in the world just happened there? I got really hungry and I acted like an outright savage. So the inspiration for that is that I was in New Orleans with my unfortunately my now ex. It was his first time there. I think it was his first time there. And the whole reason why we were down there that weekend was because we were going to be seeing an opera. I think it was Tosca at the New Orleans Opera House. By the way, you must go visit. If you're a sci-fi fan, the interior of the New Orleans Opera House looks like a spaceship landing. I can only describe it like that. But anyway, good show. A friend of ours is in the cast. And we decided to, on the first day we got there, we checked into the hotel and decided to eat at this bar that was right downstairs. Unbeknownst to us, there was this whole other like Cajun street food festival about 3 blocks away because we didn't do our research beforehand. And I had a pork burger. I think it was mostly pork, almost a chorizo, if that was it. That had some pickled onions on top of it, which I actually had and completely forgot about. But instead of a bun, it was 2 large tostones. So I made those, the tostones tonight. I had the chicken left over, so I just put the chicken on top of the tostones to have a sandwich, and it worked out. But that was the inspiration. It was something that I had a long time ago in a galaxy that wasn't far, far away. So I don't have much chicken left. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put it in the fridge. So I can savor it for later. I am not going to eat dinner tonight, you guys, seriously. And yeah, I should do that to the tomato as well, because I'm probably not going to have that tonight. If tomatoes weren't so darn watery, I would be eating them all the time. Anyone else find that? It's got all that like membrane and stuff inside there. Whoops. Save that for later. Let's put the vodka back in the freezer. Let's put the water back into the fridge. And oh, this is like a first-class mess in here. Do sun-dried tomatoes? Well, I'm talking about as a snack. What I mean is, I really like tomatoes. I don't like cherry tomatoes because when you bite into them and they explode in your mouth, So if anybody puts them in a salad, cut them in half first. But I really like tomatoes. And I can eat them as a snack with a little bit of salt, maybe some olive oil, definitely some balsamic, basil, optional. I do love basil. I am part Italian. It's a crime to not. But I can just eat them as a snack. I would eat them like a fruit, like an apple, if it wasn't so watery and leaky all over the place. You know? All right. So, hot surface. I'm not sure exactly where. This is safe to handle. Now, I have a surface that I can work off of. All right. I never used that one, right? No, I never did. And I need a spreader. I need that, which is all set. And I think that's everything. Alrighty. Get the dust off that. And move you over. Okay. So if you remember, this was the tuile mix that we made at the very beginning. So the idea is that I'm going to shape these as best I can. I need a spoon. I have so much stuff in my sink, you guys. You can see how dirty and messy my sink is. It's not horrible. I have a dishwasher, but it leaks, and I found out why. But I am generating so many dishes. Thankfully, I'll find a way to burn off the calories. I know some folks just use a melon baller to scoop it out and seed, but that's so leaky. It is. I'm a fan of quartering them and then just cutting out the inside, which doesn't really mean much nutritionally. All right, so. I need to make these fairly large, but I also have to gauge how much of this I'm going to need. I think that's going to be good enough. 1. Oops. 2. 3. 4. That one's going to need a little bit more. That one needs a little bit more. That one definitely needs a bit more. Just try to make sure that these get as round as they can. And now they go in. 10 minutes. Now, hey, it's snowing outside. Wow, that's actually coming down quite fast. I wasn't expecting that. Or are they too sweet? Same. You know, some folks use melon ball. Yeah, I don't. It seems to me, when it comes to, and just going back to the topic of sun-dried tomatoes for a minute, it just seems to me that a lot of foods have trends. And in the, I want to say in the 90s, people were nuts about sun-dried tomatoes. Not so much anymore. Like, there were sun-dried tomatoes in everything. And, yeah, they're not really snacky worthy, but sun-dried tomatoes, oil, pinoli nuts, that kind of thing, you would see those in types of biscotti, like a savory biscotti. And I'm making these tuiles, by the way, making them really big, because these are going to be sizable fortune cookies. I might be making them a little too big, but I'd rather make them too big than too small, and they're unwieldy. It's pretty breezy, blow around snow here tonight, like dusting. All right. Oh no, it's spreading too thin. I just looked inside and these are spreading way too thin. So these are probably not going to work as fortune cookies, but I'll be darned if they're not going to be delicious. Anyway, so if you remember, I made these unfortunate cookies. The unfortunate cookie fortunes here, which I have to cut out now. But just to rehash memory, big cookies are always better. They are. I guess I didn't account for how much these might spread out. But anyway, you break mirrors because they can't reflect your awesomeness. You're awful, nice to talk to. You are incredibly ugly at absolutely no time ever. No one can stand you being as cute as you are. So I'm going to go cut those out. That way you can only say you only had one. Never mind that it was the size of your head. I'll only have one cookie, yeah. Funny how that works out, eh? Alright, so now I'm going to cut these out. These fortunes, I'm cutting these out. They're probably way too small for these cookies, but like these slips of paper are probably too tiny. But you know what? It don't matter. 1, 2. I guess for the size that I'm making these are too small. But you know, let's have a fun time, shall we? Alright, fortunes are cut. And is it breezy in here still? I was hoping that the smokiness would have left, and it did. I'm still eating these like tostones. Oh my word. Well, they stopped spreading, but they're not circular anymore. But what I do need is something to put them on. That's right. Do have that. Look at all this mess. Look at this mess behind me. What am I going to be doing tonight? I should clean as I go. But instead, I've made like 80,000 dishes. So, yeah, it looks so nice and beautiful outside. Glad I spent it all indoors. I mean, there's still the contemplation that I might go to the gym tonight, but not if it's going to look like this. Not if it's this messy. Ooh, that was a big branch that just fell. Meh. So, the way that my apartment is that it's situated over toward a courtyard. There are 3 buildings in my complex. One of them is 3 stories, one of them is 2 stories, and the building that I live in is 8 stories. But I'm on a low floor. So when I look out my window, it looks like I'm part of a more exclusive community. But the courtyard in the middle, it's not private. I mean, anyone can walk through it. No one's going to demand to see an identification. But it doesn't lead to anywhere. We got a barbecue pit, a pool, and all of that stuff, but it doesn't go anywhere. So looking out, and I see there's a paved path in the middle that's being dusted over by the snow, like the sugar frosting on top of a donut. But I don't know. It's very beautiful, and the snow is almost coming in sideways. Yeah, it's windy outside. I can see that. I was even thinking about taking a quick walk around the property just to get my blood flowing, but who knows if that's going to happen. Cheeto, I guess cooking food is a very essential skill. Well, yes. Cooking food is a very essential skill, and we have a lot of dirty dishes to prove it. But Cheeto, welcome. Hello. Right now, I'm counting down the timer. I have tuiles in the oven that as soon as they come out, I have but a few moments to shape them. And once they're set, I'm ready to go. I have my fortunes already at the ready. Let me just separate a few of them so that I can just grab and go. And I have my miniature spatula so that I can take them out. But what's up this evening, this fine evening, wherever you may be? Guys, I can't stop eating these. I wish I had something to drink with this other than water, but hey. Alright, it says it's got a minute left, but I think it needs more time, so let me just put up the timer. And then the second batch went in. Yeah, you can't see me. The second batch went in about 2 minutes after that. So, what that means is I have 2 minutes to shape the tuiles that are coming out of the oven before I have to take the next batch out. Yeah, that. But I'm looking at them and they look good. They're just not the right color yet. Thank you. Do not want to open the oven prematurely, but these are not done yet. There's almost no color on them, and that's what I'm looking for. Shrug. So what else is everybody up to right now? I can smell the almond though. Not gonna lie, it's smelling good. What do I do with the other roller? What did I do with the other roller? I did have the flat pasta roller. Hopefully I didn't put it into the sink like a dum-dum. Oh, there it is. And now this can go away. It saves me a little bit of time and space. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. These need a little bit more color on the outside. Sometimes I wonder if I smoke out the apartment what the long-term effect is going to be. Is somebody going to complain? He always smells like he's burning something. Well, technically I am. Let's get this stopper back on there. Great. That's all set. Yeah. So it's only 4 o'clock right now. It's 10 of 4 o'clock where I am, which means I got a whole afternoon to myself to figure out what in the world there is to do. Ooh, the snow has stopped. The finest powdering misting of snow over the property. Interesting. No, wait, it's not stopped. Anyway. All right. Any more color? Should not keep on opening the oven. That's not good. Well, what's going on, all y'all? All right. 2 minutes ago, these are closer to done. I didn't mix these well enough at all, but it's just going to have to work. These are so large that they're actually hard to remove from the sheet. Okay, so on goes the fortune. Roll them up this way. That does not look like a fortune cookie, but it's going to have to work. And yeah, I don't know where I got this idea from other than I haven't made dessert in a while like this. The twirls. All right, so that goes upside down. Fortune goes in. These two meet at the center. And then that is another really not great looking cookie, but it's gonna have to work. Let's see if I can sneak those back into the oven for some good color. Yeah, these are done. Probably going to burn myself taking these off. And that's why y'all came, isn't it? Howdy, Ann. Welcome back. Now the fortune goes in, fold it up into thirds. Stop that oven. I've done so much baking in December, January that my electrical bill has been going crazy. Well, I shouldn't say crazy, but it has gone up about 25%. I realize these look nothing like fortune cookies, but we'll all just have to deal. And I'm giving them a light blow. To set them a bit. Come on. Yeah, the oven is already preheated to the temperature I wanted it at because I just turned it off from that temperature like 3 minutes ago. Burnt myself on a hot pan. Yeah, you need asbestos fingers to work with these. But I'm working as best as I can. I made a burning joke because my fingers are on fire. You're making chicken noodle soup yourself? Monostache, welcome back. These don't look anything like fortune cookies, but they're what I got. Yeah, I deserve that. Also, I'm doing something highly inadvisable, and I'm putting tuile batter on a hot pan. The reason why is that you can't work them on a hot pan. It just spreads out like butter on a piece of toast. So right now, I'm kind of flying blind with how these are going to be shaping, but I just want them done, you know? All right. And look, I have even more dishes to clean. Who'da thunk? But anyway, if anybody wants to volunteer to be my dishwasher, I'll be greatly appreciative. Alrighty. Timer. 15. Now this is a one that's not going to be photograph friendly, but it's got that crunch. It's got a fortune which reads, the fortune reads, "You make others want to drink the elixir of life to be with you longer." The almond flavor of these is almost non-existent. Fortune cookies seem tricky. So basically what this is, Monostache, is there's a type of French cookie called a thew, which, as you saw, there's the almond, which is basically just sugar, egg white, butter, and very little flour to keep it all together. And the idea is that it's this very thin tile. So imagine a potato chip, but a sugar cookie instead. You can use it in a lot of applications. I use it as the shell to the dessert taco. So here I try to use the same recipe to fold it over to make fortune cookies. And lo and behold, it doesn't look like it's keeping the shape. So I could have looked at that up or researched it longer. So I was improvising. This one is probably the best looking one, the closest one to a actual fortune cookie. But they're still delicious. But you have to shake them really fast. When you take these out of the oven, as soon as they cool, like these have been out of the oven for probably 5 minutes so far, they take their shape. You can't do anything with them. Needed a bit more almond flavoring? Yeah. I needed, I just used 1 teaspoon, and it made it smell very strongly. But if I eat this, it tastes like a sweet sugar cookie. You don't get that almond taste until after, which only means to me that it's all kind of cooked away. Maybe if I used almond flour rather than regular flour in addition to that. But you know what? It's still delicious. I'm not complaining. I'm only observing. Ein, thank you for the linky poo. I'm going to look at that. Oh, and thank you. You posted it on the Discord. What I should do, by the way, Ein, is that I'm going to make a separate channel on the Discord for links, because there are times where in the middle of streaming I don't have really the opportunity to view links that people want to share. So perhaps I can put that Discord up. If anybody does !Discord, you're getting a link to my Discord where you can post your finished originals for your knitting and crochet or quilting projects, whatever it is. If you like to cook or bake, you can post your pictures there too. I'm an equal opportunity creative. What else? We even talk sports. So right now it's kind of off season. Yeah, we got the Super Bowl this Sunday. I don't think we're going to be streaming because I'm going to be with my sister and my brother-in-law that day. But when the baseball season kicks in, we're going to have more stitch and pitches. So by all means, please feel free to post what y'all got. The actual fortune cookies look like they're still a bit pliable but stiffer when folded. Yeah, that's what's happening with these. It takes maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds before I lift them. If they're no longer on this pan, they just keep their shape. Like this was one that started to cool, but now if I try to do it, I need direction on that. This one is just going to snap. This is rigid. It's set. Not going anywhere. But yeah, I'll probably save 1 or 2 of these for a photo shot in a bit. But in the meanwhile, I already ate like half the Tostones. So, whoops. All right, 22 seconds. We'll see where we're at. They got no color. Give them an extra minute. after this stream, before it gets too dark, I'm totally going to take a walk around just to take a look at the property, because it's going to get dark and I don't want to say that I've been indoors the entire day, you know? Has everyone ever done that? I mean, present weather notwithstanding, has anybody ever just accidentally spent the entire day inside the house? Not because you wanted a personal day or whatever you want to call it, but just because you haven't been motivated to get outside or just got so distracted you never left the house? Because that's what I'm going through right now. Had to frog back to my lifeline, so I did about 1,200 stitches. No! The Linky had you fold them in half and use a cup edge to hold them together. No! I am so sorry. That is not fun. It's unfortunate that it's a fact of life when it comes to knitting that occasionally you may have to undo it. But was this that, I want to say virus shawl. That's not the correct one. Was this that, the name of the pattern, a very creative name for it, but I can't remember what it was at the moment. It's the one that had, you inserted some beadwork in the very beginning of it. It started really dark purple with a very slow ombre that came out from that. If that's the pattern I'm thinking of, I can't remember the name of it. But, oh, that sucks. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Don't panic. That was it. Okay. That was the name of the shawl. So hopefully you didn't panic when you noticed the issue. Or maybe that was just the designer of the pattern trying to be cheeky. Now it's blindingly bright. Sorry if I just blinded somebody, but I wanted to make sure the light was on all the way. I'm going to be taking a picture of some of these when they're done. This is cool. And the best part about these cookies, there was nothing that was on this fan at all, except for a sill pat, which was clean, so I can just put this away. That was easy cleanup. Alrighty, where are we at? We got color, so now the oven can go off for the first time in about 3.5 hours. Alright, here we go. I can still hear them sizzling. These are like just barely cooked. So I'm turning them over because that's the presentation side is on top for Tweels. Now blowing on them a little bit to hopefully get that color set or get the shape set. Yeah, as I go underneath this, you can see the spatula. I'm just blowing on it. To cool it down so that it'll keep its shape up a lot more easily. Or I could just use an already shaped one to hold it. All right. Fold into thirds. Slip out the spatula. See if I can use another cookie to hold that shape. That'll do. Ha! And that's still hot. Okay. All right. Stove is cool enough that I can do this. I got my favorite little presentation plate. Looks like a check. So I'm going to put one. I put 2 little fortune cookies on there. That one looks raw. And unfortunately, that looks raw too. I think 1 will do. You think 1 will look good for a plating? Because at the moment, that's all I got. That's probably the best looking one. Turn that around so I can get it from the angle that has better light. Okay. So let's take a look at these, shall we? So I'm going to pick up this one here. All right. So I'm going to crack it open. It could have been cooked a little bit longer. It's still raw. And this fortune reads, "You stink at being horrible." May as well get that in a photograph as well. My fingers are so buttery. I can't tell yet if that's a problem or not. All right, once again, I'm going to turn it around so that I can get what I hope to be a better lighting angle. Okay. So this one was cooked a little bit less than the first. Good crunch. Definitely is a lot better. But almost no almond flavoring until the very end. So I'm really gonna have to punch this up. And you can see it's still somewhat pliable. So this should have cooked for probably about a half a minute longer. Yeah. See that? It's still springy. This needed more time to cook. But I leave these out overnight. They're going to dry out plenty fine. All right, so there we have it. I have all of these dishes to clean, which is not going to be fun, but I'm not going to subject you to that. But what did we accomplish today? We got done some egg noodles because I had the leftover yolks because I wanted to do the fortune cookies. And with the egg noodles, we put together a pasta with some chicken thighs that were seasoned in turn with slap yo mama seasoning. Now, this is salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and garlic powder. So this is a good general kind of allegedly Cajun seasoning that I use with cooking. Also use liquid smoke with the chicken. When that was done, I partially shredded it and pan-fried it with some olive oil, cilantro, fresh garlic, tossed the pasta in that, which became my lunch/dinner. It's 4 o'clock. I'm not going to have anything for dinner. That was plenty enough. Yeah, we made the fortune cookies, which was great. We did, what else did we do? We did something else. What else did we, oh, the Tostones. How can I forget? So we put together these wonderful tostones. These are not the prettiest looking ones. I saved the prettiest looking one for the photographs. And I made these as a bun to a chicken sandwich and also served it with some pineapple salsa that I had left over from last night. So, hey, there you go. I just realized the music stopped playing. Anyway, so we did quite a lot today. Been streaming for a bit over 3 hours. We had a bit of a technical difficulty at the very beginning because of the stream not connecting for some reason. Yeah, that's right. The chat window is completely covering up everything else, and you can see the corner of my fridge. Yeah. Actually, I wonder. Yeah, I'm standing pretty much as far in the corner of the kitchen as I can. I can still touch my fridge. That's how tiny this place is. But you know what? Great lighting. So what is everybody up to tonight? Some of us are getting some knits for it to be snow because of the snow that's happening, although it looks like around me at least the snow has stopped. Monostash, you're getting ready for the stream tonight, I believe. And I can't wait to see that menu. Let's see, what else we got going on? I don't know. Ain, I know you're knitting Nirvana right now, and I'm really sorry that you had to frog that much. But you know what? At the risk of sounding like the dude that sees the glass as half full, you had that lifeline in there. Yeah, you undid 1,200 stitches, but could have been worse. Could have been worse. I hate to sound like that dude, but thank yourself for putting the lifeline in there, and I think that was a really cool thing. Those that might not be aware, a lifeline is a strand that you put through your knit work so that if you make a mistake, you unravel up to that line so you don't have to redo your entire project, especially if you nailed it up to a certain point. It's like a bookmark in knitting, so to speak. But anyway, that's what we got for today. So in terms of stream schedule for the rest of the week, it's a little in the air. I'm going to be going to dinner with my buddy tomorrow for a Thai restaurant near where I work. I haven't eaten Thai in so long. Friday morning, I have to go to the gym because Saturday I'm going to be driving down to Brooklyn, and then I have a race on Sunday morning. I have, what's the name of the race? I'm covering up my last name, but that's the race that I got on Sunday morning, the Superb Owl 10K. Never be ashamed to sound like that dude. Being positive is always a good thing. Yes. Being positive is always a good thing. Unless you're a hydrogen atom. In which case, you might be a little basic. Hey, I tried. I tried to work in a chemistry joke. You got to give me something here. But yeah, you know, there is that positive aspect. You plan ahead, so you never know when a mistake is going to happen. Like tonight, I should have planned ahead. At least I did the dishes in my sink before I started. But I'm going to have a lot of work to do before I am ready for just chilling out tonight. But anywho, tostones done, tea consumed, pasta in the fridge, fortune cookies fortuning, I have some meringues left. I can have that tonight. And I have some Doritos super hot chips, so that'll be a nice snack for tonight. But anyway. Alrighty, yo. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you had fun as much as I did. There were some times in there where I got a bit focused and couldn't read chat, so for that I do apologize for any perceived rudeness. Anybody that's been new to the channel today, I do want to say thank you, and once again, hello, welcome. Don't be afraid to join the Discord where you can further conversations off stream. But my name is Shmajan, aka Shmajan. Either pronunciation is correct. Some people call me Shma, and that's cool too. I am usually a knitting streamer, occasionally baking streamer, but today that's going to be it for me. Let's see if there's anybody else that we can hawk our wares to. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I have somebody. So here's somebody I was tuning into last night. No. You filled the bit meter. Alrighty. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's really not fair. Well, it's kind of fair. That was fair, even though... What? Okay, whatever. Alright, so here's how it works. My stream looks like it froze. Did it freeze? Am I still up? Am I still up? I should be still up. Am I up? What happened? Why can I not see my own stream? What happened there? Why am I not seeing myself? There I am. Alright, so I'm frozen. Alright, so here's what's going on. I filled the bit meter. So I think, Mono, you know about this because I mentioned it earlier. But if you fill the bit meter, I have to try to make a pun based upon a random object. And because the next... Did it freeze again? No. Because the next major holiday... You did the thing. So, here is a box of Brock's Tiny Conversation Hearts. So what I'm going to do to try to strain my brain is I'm going to take a conversation heart from here. I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to try to give myself a few seconds to think of a joke where that would be the punchline. Why? Because I'm crazy. And I have no idea if it's even going to be funny. But it's what I can do. Alright? Thank you, Monostache, for putting me over the top. Alright, here we go. I've not done this before. So hopefully this doesn't crash and burn in my face. Alright. The heart that I pulled... I don't think you can see that well. The heart that I pulled was you and me. You and me. So what's going to be the setup where that's going to be the punchline? Hang on. I have to think about this one. You and me. Hold on. I'm on the brink of something here. All right, I'm gonna shout for two of them because one of them I feel is not quite funny. Maybe at the workshop it a little bit. Because if I was watching Jerry Maguire too many times, I'd be like, Renee Zellweger, you end me. You and me, you end me. Renee Zellweger, you end me. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch. What is that? The punchline, yes. All right, so you and me. Oh, this is really hard. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. All right, so I've seen Jerry Maguire so many times. Darn it. I may as well say to Renee Zellweger, you end me, instead of you complete me. You end me. Oh, God. I think that's the only one that I can come up with. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Is that going to be enough? Was that a satisfactory pun? I haven't decided what's going to happen if I don't get a satisfactory pun. But was that good enough? I tried. I really tried. I'm trying to think of a joke where I use a conversation hard as the punchline. But hopefully with that bit goal, you didn't end me with that horrible pun / joke. I don't know. I really tried. But these are just as chocolatey as I remember. All right. It seemed like it worked. It seemed like it would, but anyway. All right. Plan B is that I'd just take a shot. You know, funny story about these, okay? This is a Dairy Pure light cream thing. When I was a kid, and we went to, actually not seeing the movie, so it went over my head. Okay, well, you know the quote, "You complete me," right? That's probably one of the more famous quotes from that movie other than "Show me the money." So I was thinking, "You complete me," Jerry Maguire, "You end me," like the opposite. Yeah, delicious Tums candy. Anyway, the funny story about these little creamer cups, when I was growing up, every Sunday or every other Sunday, my family would go to the diner before church, to have like your breakfast and all that. My parents would order coffee, and at the very end, we would have a bowl full of these. And not knowing any difference when I was a kid, I ripped these open and I just drank them like a shot of milk, because to me that's what they were. Fast forward to when I was a teenager, whenever I ate something or I ate too much at the diner, I would look forward to these because the feeling of that cold cream going down, for some reason, made me feel like I was not going to get indigestion. So anyway, this is what I got. Let's see if this tastes like I remember. Itadakimasu. Yeah, tastes like melted ice cream. Alrighty. So anywho, once again, thank you very much. I tried really hard to think of a joke with that, so hopefully that was worth 250 bits to you. You definitely got to see me writhe in pain trying to think of something on the fly. Maybe that worked. You can see being funny isn't really that easy all the time. But anyway, again, everybody, thank you very much. Have a good evening to all, and be safe. If you're somewhere in the United States where it's very cold, please stay warm. Check in on your loved ones. Make sure that if there is anybody that you know or love that is not near any warmth, please make sure that they're going to be all right. Everybody else, be safe out there. Enjoy your evening. Make it as calorie and fiber filled as possible. Thanks for getting strung out with me. Good night.